These two skin conditions show up constantly on exams, and most students mix them up. One falls apart with a light touch, the other stays completely intact. Pemphigus vulgaris versus Bullous Pemphigoid. Welcome back to MedBites. Let's lock this in. Before we proceed, I'm going to drop an exam style practice question in the comments. See if you can answer it without looking it up. All right, let's get to it. Pemphigus vulgaris. This is an autoimmune disease, right? You get IgG antibodies. IgG antibodies. What kind of hypersensitivity reaction is this? Type 2 hypersensitivity. Make sure you watch that video. It's super important. Comes up everywhere, right? That concept keeps coming up. All right. So you get IgG antibodies against desmoglein. Desmoglein is what? It's a component of desmosomes, right? That hold the keratinocytes together. So what happens? You have IgG antibodies against desmoglein. So the epidermal cells, right? This is the entire epidermal layer. These cells lose adhesion and the skin breaks apart and it creates a blister. Now, that blister is very fragile because only part of the epidermis is involved. The full thickness is not involved. So the blister has a very thin layer, right? It's a very thin layer. So the moment you touch it, it bursts. The skin shears off. It pops. Now that is called a positive Nikolsky sign. The fact that you touch that blister and it pops and it starts bleeding is a positive Nikolsky sign. And on histology, this is another high yield important note, is that they will say it shows a row of tombstones. Why is that? Because the basal layer right here is intact. Okay, it's only the upper layer of the epidermis that's breaking off and detached. The lower part, the basal layer, is still intact. Oh, and one more thing, the oral mucosa is involved. We'll get back to this later, but the importance of this, or how I like to remember these things about Pemphigus vulgaris, is that it's vulgar, it's disgusting. So vulgar language, right? Like cussing, that's where the mouth is involved. So oral mucosa is involved. Or the fact that it blisters and it shears off and it starts bleeding. It's disgusting. It's vulgar. So Pemphigus vulgaris. All right, vulgaris. Okay, now Bullous Pemphigoid. Here, we also have IgG antibodies, which means it's a type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. See how important it is? It constantly comes up. Against hemidesmosomes. Hemidesmosomes are in the basement membrane. Here, you have the basement membrane. So the entire epidermis is now lift off. It lifts off the dermis, right? Now, this means that the blister that's formed over here is more firm. So when you touch it, it doesn't burst. That means you get a negative Nikolsky sign. And the oral mucosa is not involved. Okay? And there's that. If this helped make it click, share it with someone who still confuses these two. It's one of those most tested dermatology traps.